Let me see if it'll update here on the YouTube side. It says I'm live. Might be live. Either way, hello. Welcome to the third episode of Happy Hour with Thursday Toys. Okay, I'm looking here, there, and yes. So, okay. Now I see me. All right, here we go. I think I have the thing turned in a different way than I normally have it. But yes, welcome to the third episode of Happy Hour with Thursday Toys. We sit down, share some drinks, talk about some things within our fandoms, be it like Godzilla or Jurassic Park or Transformers. And because of the nature of the channel, and because drinks may or may not be involved, these are intended for ages 21 and up. Please drink responsibly, always and forever. We are working on some technical difficulties here. All right, 1 second. All right. But in just a minute, we'll be joined by my guest today. You might know him here on YouTube or on Instagram as Realist Goji Fan. And as soon as he can get the system working, he'll be joining. And today we are going to be talking about the way we as collectors categorize and rank kind of all our purchases, from Holy Grails all the way down to like impulse buys. And I have some like weird categories in there, and I don't like, this is a conversation I've been wanting to have with people. I want to know how other collectors kind of rank their things and sort their things and look at items and make their purchases and their selections. So feel free to join in. If you're watching it live, you can join in the comments, and hopefully it should pop up on screen here so I can see it, and we'll respond there. But if you're watching long after the fact, keep the conversation going. Join in the comments, and I'd love to revisit these. So while we're waiting for our guest to hop on in, this is real close. So I have my Grails, and I think most of us have Grails. And then I have bucket list items, which is something new that I've been thinking about over the past, over the past year kind of thing. And then you have like just your list, your generic shopping list. And then you have impulse buys at the bottom. And then I have some like weird like side categories, like placeholder items and like dream figures. And we'll get into some of those in just a little bit. All right, let's see. Do we have anyone in here yet? It is me. All right, well, we are waiting. Also, what I'm drinking today is a drink that Jordan and I had at Kaiju Brooklyn. They had in all throughout Industry City, they had a bunch of different like vendors, like shops and things, little restaurants and bars and things. And one of the bars had, or multiple bars had, different kaiju themed cocktails. And this one, it's the Ultraman Punch. And I was watching them make it, and I was trying to like eyeball the pours as they're kind of measuring it out. And I think I got it. It was not bad. Black Knight, hello and welcome. How's it going? How you doing? Happy Friday. All right, let's see. If we're having any luck here getting in. Let's see. I wonder if there's something I need to do from my end. Thank you for your patience here. We'll get this. This is still new. All the live things. Every time I do something new on YouTube here, I'm learning. There's a curve here. All right, let's see if there's anything I need to do from my end. All right, okay, looking good here. All right. So, for those watching, how do you rank your purchases? What categories do you have when you see a new item either out and about, or like a company teases a thing that's saying, "Hey, this is upcoming," um, and I don't know. I feel like there's something different from like learning about a new item that's like a brand new item, and learning about something that you didn't know existed, but it came out 20 years ago, and now you're at the mercy of the aftermarket. So I feel like aftermarket prices are always usually that much higher, which I think automatically bumps things into more of a grail or a bucket list kind of status. Um, and Because for me, with grails, and I want to hear how other people define a grail, because for me, I feel like there's kind of a sense of time. Like specifically, there's the want, the desire. Like this is something you're really gonna hunt for and go after. Um, but I think part of it is the quest for the grail, that hunt. Um, so I feel like there is that an element of time. Um, that not that like you have to be hunting for so long, because if you see like the perfect figure and it's right here and you go for it, like that's it. That could be a grail that you just discovered right now in front of you, and there it is. Um, but I've found that for grails, for me specifically, it's something that like no question you're going for it. And obviously, if we can't afford it, we can't afford it. But yeah, I think you're willing to push your budget that much further for a grail. Um, Technically, beyond your means. Yeah. Okay. Yes. So, yeah, something that's maybe stupid expensive. Maybe like, why am I spending this much on this? Like this figure right here. This was top of my grail list, and I finally got it here. Um, and it's stupid. I feel like I spent a stupid amount on it, um, especially on the shipping. Jesus, I those sites like Buy. So you have to pay like the domestic shipping within Japan, and then the fees, and then whatever those sites charge for shipping, because it's not the exact amount. Because when and you don't know the shipping beforehand. When they gave me the quote, I'm like, that's insane. There's no way it was $100. I'm like, there's no way that costs $100 to ship. And they're like, hey, they work with, I guess, like a middleman for shipping, and they're like, these are just the prices that we were quoted, so that's what we're paying. I'm like, that's insane. Find a new middleman. So you do have some silly things like that. But oh, here we go.
Yeah, guess, can you hear me? All right, that's awesome. Sorry
We are
for the
in.
delay.
No, no, no. I'm still figuring all this out and how it all works. So thank you for your patience. Thanks for dealing with the technology. So here he is. Like I was saying, you know him here on YouTube and Instagram as Realist, Goji fan, Jordan the Don Adorno.
That's
Welcome
right.
in. Yeah. So I in the chat, we're talking about, I was kind of talking about how I define a grail.
hmm
But yes, how are you doing? How's it going? Are you sipping on anything special today? Or
Listen, I'm not gonna lie. I'm currently at my in-laws.
mm,
I might send Michelle to just come up really quick to grab me something to drink, man, because ooh, after dealing with my laptop, and that was the reason, obviously, I showed up late for the viewers watching. I'm definitely in need for a drink, but
that's
as of right now, no. But other than that, Adam, truth be told, I'm doing also well. Tomorrow I am, as a matter of fact, I got the jitterbugs right now because tomorrow I'll be attending New York Comic Con.
oh dang.
Yes.
Yeah, see, I forgot it's we're all over the country here.
Yes, yep. So
Dude,
that is, oh my goodness. And then seeing the Godzilla booth, I'm like, oh man, I'm just excited to go.
I'm
So yeah,
jealous.
oh my God. Listen, I've so many of the other boys have told me, dude, you're so lucky. And it's crazy. I know I'm going off track here, but for the past few years, me and my fiance, we make it a tradition that we go specifically to a con in the Javits Center located in New York.
Mm.
Um, it, she was always big into like wanting to go into conventions. She's never been to one up until when she met me about over 8 years ago. So we made it a tradition, and one year we just decided, New York Comic Con, we've never been there. So we decided to do a trip, and at the time I was, again, the jitterbugs, excited to go to another con, but I
Mhm.
didn't know how big New York Comic Con truly was. So it's like literally, and here I am. I'm like a virgin walking in there. I had no idea. And then from that point on, and mind you, this was, oh my God, Adam, this was like in 2019. So this is right before the pandemic even hit us.
Yeah.
Um, so after that, me and Michelle, we made it. And that was our first time. Our second time, we did a 1 day trip. And again, we're doing the same thing this year, 1 day trip. But after like literally searching the entire web for anybody possibly selling Saturday tickets, specifically because of what they're going to be doing for Godzilla on tomorrow, me and her, we just made the commitment. You know what? From this moment on, we're just going to buy the whole weekend because it's tickets sell out like that. Um, I blame myself because I was just, halting the hope to, something maybe come, something would come up that would possibly pique my
Right.
interest. And last minute, when I found out about Godzilla was going to be at New York Comic Con for Saturday, specifically having a booth with Takashi Yamazaki, the director of Godzilla Minus One, the tickets were already sold out. So I
Yeah, I
bought
was
it
gonna
from
say,
someone.
like, yeah, it might be cheaper to just buy the whole weekend than to buy just the one
Yes,
day from a scalper later.
yes.
Yep.
And luckily, the guy who I purchased the tickets from, he was a cool dude. He was like, "Hey, listen, I know you're only looking for this 1 day specifically because of your Godzilla thing. I'll give it to you for a bargain." And the guy was he was awesome. So yeah, that's again, I'm doing amazing. I am fanboying right now, all the way up until I get on that train tomorrow to go to New York. It's gonna be a good
Yeah,
weekend for me.
dude, I want to see pictures. I'm excited. I
Are you
know,
gonna
like,
see them?
there are some other people I've been talking to on Instagram. They're sending pictures. I'm like, oh man, they're like fighting Ultraman and stuff. I'm like, what is happening? So tying it back into our like collection ranking, what we purchased, are you looking for anything specific to buy there, or just taking it all in?
So it's, oh my goodness. I've been asked that this entire week, if not just by my friends, but also, of course, from the wifey. We're not going to be going there to come back with a whole freaking like a bundle of things, John. We got to be
Mhm.
realistic,
Yes.
but like for me, and I get it, but um, Adam, you could chime in to see if we're on the same wavelength as this. But when we go to these conventions, especially specifically like New York Comic Con, though it's not heavily based on Godzilla, you really never know what you walk in there and what you
Yes.
see.
Yeah.
So there are a few things that I do have insight of, specifically the Mondo launch bag backpack.
Oh.
And
Okay.
there's also I forgot the name of the company, but the Abominable Godzilla that they had showcased a few weeks
Oh
ago.
yes. I should know this. I was just looking at that the other day. I forgot the name. I see them at they're at Decon every year. They do like the yeah.
So they have one specifically exclusive for New York Comic Con. Godzilla's dorsal plates, the eyes and the mouth, they glow in the dark. So I'm all for glowies. And then also, is it Mondo again that's doing this? I don't remember what was. I can't even think of the name of the actual brand of the figure, but there's specifically 3 items I'm looking at that will be
Mhm.
New York Comic Con exclusive pieces for Godzilla. Other ones that I guess is more known within our community are the Dope Popes Gorgo.
Oh,
Yes.
the
Size between,
Titanic Creations.
yes.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
the Seismic Toys Shin Gomez figure that will also be sold at Dope Pope's booth. So those are another two specific things I'm looking at. But I don't know what I'm gonna walk out with, if I'm gonna be honest with you, Adam.
Right. It's and that's where we have the impulse buys. So I was talking about, and let me catch up in the chat here. So we're talking about someone said Kaiju Death Ray said a grail should technically be beyond your means. And I do kind of like that. And I was talking about like the stupid amount of money that we're willing to pay for a grail versus some other things. Like I was talking about this one, I paid $100 in shipping alone on this, which is stupid. But I'm like, yeah, I want it. So that's if that's what I need to do to get it, then let's get it. And that to me is what like helps define a grail. And the hunt, but also the awe.
Yes.
And this is so bizarre. I've been hunting this since I was in like middle school. It's made by Dream Rocket, and it's a penguin, my favorite bird. But it's also clearly like Gigan inspired.
Yes.
It's absolutely it's like a Gigan penguin. I'm like, yes, I love it so much, and I have no regrets. I spent a stupid amount on it, but no regrets.
No, absolutely.
And there are things that I've bought that I've regretted spending that much money on. But those are usually like impulse buys, especially like convention exclusives, limited edition. Oh, it's only up for, it's going to sell it in 5 minutes. Do I get it? Do I not?
Yes.
And then sometimes it's like, why did I do this? But yeah, so I was saying I have like grails, and then below that I have something that I've added is bucket list items.
Yes.
I was watching, it was a Kaiju live auction, and they had the glow in the dark X Plus 1954 maquette. And that was something that was a grail for me. I'm like, I want it bad. And I've never actually seen it for sale. And then they had one up for auction, not a bad price either for what I expected. And then I went to bid on it, and I'm like, that is a lot though. Like, it's not bad, but it's also like, do I really want to spend that much? And for something that I thought was a grail for so long was just suddenly cut down. It's like, now that I have the opportunity, now that the hunt is over, was it more about the hunt, or was it actually wanting the thing? So that's when I'm like, well, it would be nice to own one someday before I stop collecting. But maybe I'm not going to spend that much right now. So that's why it became like a bucket list item. Like someday, if the timing is right, like, oh, it's resin and it's getting shipped from New York, and not that they don't package things well, they do, but who knows what the post office will do.
Oh my God, it's yes.
So that became a bucket list item, and then you have just your list in general, and then you got, like we were saying, those impulse buys. So how do you rank things? What do you have?
Oh, I'm not gonna lie, Adam. If I see something that I know either one that I've came across but wasn't really looking at consistently, but that specific one item is something I know not a lot of people own, I would consider that for me like so there's no rankings in between. To me, everything's a holy grail. It's yes, it is. So maybe I might have to take your advice on this, Adam, because we as collectors, and you don't even have to necessarily collect Godzilla to understand what I'm going to say.
Right.
But when I know I got out of this habit. Actually, I got out of it recently, where if I saw anything Godzilla, I'm getting it. I don't care what it is, because it is Godzilla. I need to add it to the collection. Now I'm very picky with what I want specifically. Like when I met you for the first time 2 G Fests ago, I remember walking out there with my Marusan 1974 Godzilla, as well as the Marusan GMK Godzilla. And from that moment on, I'm like, I found a whole new niche. My Bullmark Marusan M1-ish type of stylized figures. Those are my niche, including that of also. And I purchased it for the first time last year at this previous G Fest, my first ever model kit. Nobody will know about it up until when it's actually finished and it's in my hand. That's when I'll send out pictures and videos of it.
secret
But
project.
yes, it's and mind you, I don't even have it on me right now. I'm not even the one working on it. I had somebody else work on it.
Wonder if
I'll
we
get
send our figures to the same person.
Well, who do you think it is? That
I have
is working
Marcellus
my
working on something for me.
So we got the same guy.
Our
So
figures
but
are staring at each other right now.
you literally, they're just like right there, eye to eye. But and not only that, but like oh my god, Easy Hobby, they just dropped their -1 figures out on the Godzilla store.
Yeah,
I
I saw.
I love how stylized those are, and just not generic to where Godzilla's just standing right there. I want him to be animated. I want
Yeah,
him to
you want
look.
the dynamic.
Yes, yes. And so anything that looks like that, no matter the price, I will always try to gun for those, just because I know not a lot of people try to even look their way. A lot of people nowadays, they go for accuracy. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? I want to feel like this is something I just stuck my hand into the TV and then just grabbed it and it's right there in my hand. And I'm like that too, depending on what it is. But with stuff like that, those are things that I really truly gun for. Um, I'm trying to think, like for instance, this past G Fest, on top of my list was the T-based GMK Godzilla.
Oh yeah.
Now, obviously, that was nowhere to be found in G Fest.
Mhm.
And I knew it was going to be like a very pricey figure. But again, I didn't care. And to this day, it's still a figure that I am looking for.
Are you looking for a specific colorway or just whatever you can get your hands on?
So it's between the first color wave and I don't remember the other specific color wave I'm looking at. It was like a mixture of like a vanilla white with like gray.
Oh, you kind of the marbled.
Yes, yes, yes,
Yeah,
yes, yes. So
I
it's between those two for me. Those right as of right now, in terms of like a holy grail.
those are like top of
That's
the list.
yes, yes. I'm a
I
GMK guy. Literally, my
think.
forearm is all covered with GMK Godzilla tatted. So that's on top of my list right now.
Did you check out Toku Toy Town?
Why, Adam?
Okay, so when I was at Kaiju Go in Texas,
Okay,
um, he had a bunch of them. I don't remember exactly which colorways, but he had like three of them. Um, I want to say it was the black and white kind of marbled, and then there was like a blue glow, and then I think like a red and black one.
stop.
Um, they were bigger than I thought because I thought they were like this, but they're like
Oh,
yeah,
they're
they,
massive chunky
they were
boys.
pricey pieces. So I'm like it's beyond my budget, but um, yeah, check that site and use code thirsty20 for 20% off your order.
Oh, okay, okay,
One
I
time
see.
use only per account, but no
Oh,
expiration.
nice to know. Thank you so much, Mr. Griffin.
No problem. But that's fascinating what you're saying about like wanting those like real dynamic poses with the detail and the stylization because we all have like criteria for certain things.
Mm-hmm,
Like,
mm-hmm.
okay, I want this figure in this style and this size and this number of points of articulation and stuff. Like, I like the really kind of static stuff, like this.
Yes, like
These
that's
I don't know
awesome.
why, but if it's too dynamic, I don't I don't gravitate towards it as much. If it's like in a fixed, the more dynamic the pose, the less I like it. Because I think for
Really?
me, you can only really display it like in the one way.
Okay, okay.
Whereas like these, I can have them really kind of any direction. They're
Yeah,
still
no, yep.
yeah. But yeah, like we each have our own like the boxes that we need to check off when we're looking for something.
Mhm.
So that's where I have like placeholder figures. Is it's
Okay.
kind of a subcategory. It's like okay, well, I want this character, but so far this is like the kind of the best option for now
Mhm,
until I
mhm.
get the right thing. Like, okay, the pose is a little
Yes.
too dynamic, but where else are you going to find, a flying destroyer?
No,
Un-
yeah.
until like finally, Monster Arts came out with one. I'm like, yep, that's it, that's the one.
I still have that with me to this day, specifically because of that, and the tadpole variant of Fedora as well.
Yes, that's not a lot out there. I know there was like the CCP, and then you have like the Matagacha.
No,
Uh,
no, yo,
yeah, but not much. And that's where we have tied to that is dream figures, or ones that like don't exist yet, but as soon as it does, like you're jumping on it.
oh my, yes,
Yeah, like the Godzilla skeleton. For me, like I really wanted a Godzilla skeleton, and so when Bandai premium capsule figures came out with like the little I'm like, yep, jumping on that. I don't care how much. I'd spend a stupid amount on those. Um, Considering they were what, like 1,000 yen.
no, yeah, I actually have that. It's funny because I even purchased the Ghidorah to go with it, and my Ghidorah kept on falling out.
Mm.
So I'm like, at this point, I don't care. Like, I'm
That's
just gonna super glue the pieces together, so they could actually stay like together. Adam, one day, I guess I wasn't even paying attention.
no.
It was trash day.
Oh no.
And so here I am. This is the top of it was my work table. Threw in the garbage bag. Next day I go back to work on Ghidorah and I'm like, wait, it's missing another head. I accidentally threw it out.
Oh god, that's and there's nothing you can do but buy a new one. I did
Literally.
that with Transformers before. I
Oh.
don't remember who it was, but I took the tray out of the box. I recycled the box. I took the figure out. I recycled the tray. I forgot to take like the accessories out of the tray.
Mhm.
Gone.
Oh no.
I'm like,
Oh.
I mean, because you're so excited to take the thing out, and you're like, yeah,
No, yes. And
yep,
play with it. Yup,
we've
yup.
been there.
But it's funny you mentioned going back to the topic of what you were talking about with the Godzilla skeleton.
Yeah.
That is, I mean, granted, despite having the little Gashapon figure in my collection, I want something that's like going to live up to the hype that is this. When my personal opinion would be an eye catcher of a collectible. I'm surprised we haven't even seen. I mean, not to say that it's not going to happen. An X plus Godzilla skeleton.
Ooh. Ooh. Okay. So we had. I'm trying to think. All the in all my hunts for Godzilla skeletons. So we got the Super Seven reactions, which
Yes,
is
yes, yes. I
close,
got
but they're
that.
not like proportionate in quite the
Yes,
sense
no,
that I
no.
want. The tail's like too short. We got the Onraku and Saku, I think,
Yes,
but
yes, yeah.
even Sofubi proportions wilder, not my cup of tea. There was the is it Metacom? They had it wasn't just the skeleton, it had like parts of the 54 on it, but it was mostly skeleton. It was they revealed
Medicom.
it at like Designer Con a couple of years back. It was stupid expensive, huge.
I think the images in my head, I'd have to see an actual physical picture to be able to
Yeah.
be like, yeah, that's the one you're talking about, Adam, because I have no idea.
I had Iwakura had their little resin figure. It was the Godzilla laying on like the sea floor.
Yes, yes,
But
yes.
there was that one. I had it and I sold it because I'm like it's not quite right because I want just the skeleton. I don't want it like
Hmm.
attached to something. I want it a standalone thing. Even laying down is fine, but just the thing.
Yes, yes.
But that was my placeholder. I'm like in the meantime, I'll get
It's
this.
up.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. I don't think I mean, well, I just recently went on the binge with just letting go a lot of my SH Monster Arts figures.
Ooh. Yeah.
Um, believe it or not, uh, I I I kind of got smacked upside the head a couple of times with this. Just recently, um, I sold my SH Monster Arts 64 Emergence Godzilla.
Oh,
Or no, was it that one or is man, I'm trying to think. No, 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 no. I just sold the SH Monster Arts 62 King Goji to one of my friends, Oscar.
that is good.
And to go along with that, because now this is gonna probably, make or break our friendship. Maybe I don't know, Adam. Like I said, I gotten hit a few times upside the head because I did this. But this specific piece, it was my placeholder for the longest. Um, since it originally came out. But it was just giving me headaches. All right. I mean, I don't know if you collect SH Monster Arts, Adam, but
Mhm.
they, joints popping off or articulation's too stiff. You don't want to feel like you're going to break it or whatever.
2019 King
Crap.
Ghidorah?
Oh my God. I got rid of that sucker really quick.
I cannot. No one wants it. I can't.
So that was I got rid of that sucker as soon as I got it within a few months afterwards. But the piece
Right.
that I had shipped out along with the 62, and this was of no charge. This was out of just the kindness of my heart, and because I knew Oscar was looking for this specific piece as well. And because the figure was just a headache, I was pulling the hairs out of my head because it was such a headache. Like this is the figure I could have just went like this, and the entire figure
Falls apart.
collapsed. The original SH Monster Arts Godzilla Jr. I threw it in there just for like here you go.
Dang.
You could take care of this all on your own. I know it's going to be at a good home. I don't want to deal with the headache. And as of right now, I have no more Godzilla. I have no Godzilla Jr. in my collection at all. That was my placeholder. Um, so that's, I guess, another thing that I'm looking forward to. God forbid if X Plus were to go the route of making a Godzilla Jr. or of just
Ooh,
any company at
yeah.
that to make a pretty cool looking junior piece, because that's I feel like alongside with all these other characters that we've been getting a lot more recently now, like for instance, Bagan.
Yeah, we got
No,
a bunch suddenly.
yes, we would never thought that we would see a physical property of that of a Bagan figure, and now they're going into the realm with Super Godzilla. I want to see. I mean, Bandai's probably going to, go back and revisit this, especially, next year in 2025, being that it will be what 30 years of Godzilla versus Destroyer. Yeah, 30 years of Godzilla versus Destroyer.
Oh my god.
Um,
Yeah.
to
Oh
a
god.
proper Bandai movie Monster Series Junior and X Plus Junior. I don't know. Next year, it's a gateway to so many things. I'm gonna be peeling my eyes wide and open for a new Junior, and one that would definitely be the cemented portion
Like
of my
the
search
one.
for. Yes.
Yes. My favorite junior is actually the hyper one.
Oh, okay,
It just needs a paint job, but
no, yeah.
it's great. And like especially for the size, put that with, like the 6-inch movie monster series burning,
Yup.
feels great. That's my that's my placeholder. I mean I do have the movie monster series ones, but yeah, that one's still my favorite.
Nah, I have unfortunately I don't. After getting rid of that, and I was really like, even right now, like I'm strongly debating getting rid of my SH Monster Arts Little Godzilla. It's just a matter of looking for the package that it came with, and then excuse me, and the crystals that it comes with for
Yeah.
accessories. I know I have it. I don't know where it's at.
Yeah, like they're in a box somewhere.
Yeah. It's oh my goodness. I know if definitely not in my closet, it's definitely like in a storage unit of mine or whatever. But it's still a strong like I said, I'm like hesitant to get rid of it because it is the only little Godzilla figure I
Yeah.
have in my collection, and I love it. It's a little cute, adorable thing. But I mean, granted, Bandai Movie Monster Series announced their Little Godzilla, and that looks
Good.
phenomenal.
Yeah. I'm like I really like the monster arts, but if I could get the movie monster series one for like $30, sell the monster arts for easily double that,
Yes,
that's a win, right?
that's where I'm at right now. So
Yeah.
who knows? That sucker might also go to another good home, but it's also like it also brought a lot of nostalgia to me. And it's a very special piece of mine personally because it was I graduated high school and my I guess my graduation present from my parents was, here you go. And it was the SH Monster Arts Junior and Little Godzilla. And I was like, oh, like at the time, of course, Monster Arts was the big thing at the time. And so I'm looking at these like, oh, I don't own these guys. Oh my God. Like I was, oh my goodness. Adam, if you knew me that far back and knowing how I am now, you'd just be like, it's a night and day thing. You would have never thought, so but yeah, so I mean, who knows?
Yeah, and I mean, who knows what other companies will come out with, and then we'll be churning. I feel like most collectors have a very fluid collection.
Yes.
They're kind of coming. It's always kind of in flux. I'm sorry, I realize I haven't caught up in the chat in quite a bit. Did you guys order the Mondo's Groman Godzilla? I did not. It's too big, which is a weird complaint. I feel like most of Groman's things are like all the exact same size.
No, yep.
He does incredible work. I love his stuff. I like that Gamera. If it ever comes out, like I will make room for it.
Oh wait, that's the one where it shows off like the anatomy of Godzilla, like his
Yeah, it has like the swappable. You can give it like the bone coming out of the tail and like the kind of half almost zombie looking face.
Yes. So
I know there's a New York Comic Con exclusive.
That's the one I'm looking for as well. Yes.
Yep.
We're right there. I love it.
Oh, I didn't show you. I showed them. Do you remember these cups from Kaiju Brooklyn?
Yes. Oh my God.
So when we got this is the Ultraman Punch. I watched them pour it, and I'm like, I think I could make that at home, and it's pretty close.
Really?
I'll send you the recipe.
You might have to bring that to G Fest or something.
Yeah. Well, that's okay. G Fest. I've been going in, and like the more times I go back to back to back to G Fest, I feel like I see a lot of the same stuff from the same vendors, kind of thing.
Okay.
Like there are some that I'm like, how much is this thing? Okay, and then the next year, how much? I'm like, what's my? Are they going to lower the price?
No, if it's still there for within these past few years, yep.
Yeah, if it's still in 3 years, maybe I'll make an offer, see what happens. But like I do go in with like my list. I have my things. I'm like, if I see this, no question. If someone has this for the right price, but then most of the purchases I make are impulse buys. Sunday, especially the final day, I get that like FOMO. I'm like, I got to come up with more stuff. Most of what I buy on Sundays, I turn around and sell within the next few months. Like, why did I buy them? What am I doing? Why did I buy 20 like Auto Gotcha?
It's funny. I had a list going into this past G Fest, and to be honest, I only walked out with only 2 items. Or no, I lied. 3. Was this M1 or Maru-san? The Nakajima Godzilla piece?
Oh yeah.
I got that. The movie monster series, Goji. And then this, I didn't think I was gonna see. And for the price I got it for, because the guy was only accepting cash, I'm like, oh my goodness. And then you already know the ATM machines over there are trash.
Yeah.
All I had on me was $20. So he was asking for 30. So I was like, hey, listen, I know you're asking for 30, and I'm not gonna give any of the vendors any type of offer because I don't want to feel like I'm low blowing them or whatever the case is.
Yeah.
So I was like, listen, I know this is $30. I get why it's $30. I'm trying to milk it, right? But I said, but I'll give you 20. The ATM machines are out. If they weren't, I would have pulled up and given you the 30 without no hesitation. And he gave it to me for $20. It's the Rebirth of Mothra 2 Bandai set featuring the Fairy, Gorgo, and Garu Garu finger puppets with for $20.
The whole set? Shut up.
Only because I mean, if you see the box is horrendous, but
Oh,
the
okay.
figures are beautiful.
That I love that set. That $20. Oh my god.
I was also looking for a few other things, like specifically related to like the I guess I'd say the Rebirth of Mothra line. There's the actual Rainbow Mothra from Rebirth of Mothra 2 that I'm looking for. Mothra Leo, I do own it, but when I purchased it a while back, I guess I wasn't reading the description well. It was missing 4 legs.
Oh.
So literally all you see is Mothra with 2 little looks so weird, but the way how I have it displayed, nobody would ever know that it's missing legs. But I'm looking for that, and then I think that would be it for my Rebirth of Mothra collection, at least just for me. But yeah, and I mind you, I had a list on me, and I only walked out with 3.
I don't remember what all I bought. I came home with so much stuff. I know for sure I got one bucket list item. It was the Maru-san. It wasn't even a Godzilla character. It was the Maru-san Archelon, the sea turtle.
Yes.
That is a figure I've been wanting. I want it in like more of a realistic kind of brown. They had it in their like Tokyo kind of colorway, the red, yellow, black, and green. So that's a placeholder. So like I have the figure. Now I just need to find it in the right color scheme. But like that's one. I think that was like the second table I went to. I'm like, yep, grabbing it, done.
That's awesome. It's funny because when I went there, I wanted to get the King Gadras.
Oh yeah.
As well as the Zamella figure, the one that looks like 62 Godzilla with So I'm actually in contact with somebody right now and possible grabbing a hold of that King Gadras or a specific one that I feel like is suitable for me that I like a little bit more than the other variants. And I had just purchased. I'm just waiting for it to come knocking on my door. The Zamella figure for only $100.
The standing upright one or
Yes,
the one
the standing upright one.
Geez, that was like a 200, 250 or something? Or 100? Dang. See, I would buy that. Like, it's big. I don't know where I put it, but for $100, yeah, jump on it.
No, my God. Like I said, after my first G Fest, I just found this whole new appreciation towards those type of stylized figures. And then knowing the history about them too, So yeah, those for me, since being open into this new world of those type of the Sofubi figures, those have been my holy grail, and I'm glad I got a hold on Zamella because between the two, I know I'll be able to get a King Gadras, if not the specific paint variant I'm looking for, but any of them would be fine by me. But the way how Zamella's looking there's only been one. It's only been out for, oh my goodness, I don't even know for how long, but
Yeah, not too long.
yeah, so there's only been that one specific basic colorway. They had the other one where it's all in all fours, but I'm I'll look into that another time. But it's the big piece. That's the one I wanted. So I'm happy with that. And I also acquired again, correct me with the name brands. I think Marmot reissued these. The Frankenstein Conquers the World set.
Oh, I think I know the set you're talking about. I don't remember the company. I don't think it's Marmot.
No,
But
so because the reason why I bring it up is because I forgot who I bought it from. I think it was Otaku America.
yeah.
They were selling it technically it wasn't even a set. But he had gave it to us with a bundle deal, and I'm like, hey, listen, I'll grab a hold of these. Because he was selling them separately. It was Frankenstein with the sandals on, and then Baragon is basic generic color scheme,
Maybe
which
it
I'm
is.
and I've been eyeing a Baragon figure in that specific frame. So to get that with Frankenstein and that being the only Frankenstein collectible that I have in my collection, I'm like, beautiful.
There it is. I love when we can look at the things on our shelves and be like, I'm glad I bought that. Right? No regrets.
Literally.
And sometimes it's like, why do we do this?
Oh
But
my
also,
god.
like, it's so weird that we look at these things and it brings us such joy
Yes.
that like why? Why? Why?
Listen,
And like,
Adam, that is a phenomenal piece.
I love it. And this, okay, so my current grail, and I say current because I feel like we were saying, like a grail. I was thinking for me, like a grail kind of, there has to be some time frame, like level of like I've been hunting this for 20 years kind of thing. There is a translucent green version, and I want it. And
all green?
it's the exact same. So it has the gold and
Oh.
silver, and instead of blue, it's green. And I need it, and I don't know why I need it because I'm a sucker for translucent green. I do know why. I have a problem, but that's if someone were to come into the chat and be like, I have it, but I'm asking this much, I'd be like, yeah. I mean, obviously, like there is a limit. Like I'm not, going to sell a house for it.
Absolutely.
But I'm willing to push my price ranges so far beyond for some of those things. And like, I mean, this goes even beyond Godzilla. I think every collector has this kind of, like in the Jurassic communities, this one.
Oh,
I've heard people say it's a grail, and I hear the term grail a lot. I used to use it all the time, and like I'd be talking to my mom, and she's like, "You have an awful lot of grails," and I don't think that's how grail works. And I'm like, that's fair. Like everything can't be a grail, Adam. I'm like, yeah, but I want it. But like some people say, like this is a grail. It is a rare, amazing figure that most of us can agree is.
Yes.
So like for Jurassic collectors, this is a grail.
Yes.
That a lot of people, I got a stupid deal on it, and like I'm torn. It's seeing the prices that it's going for on eBay.
Really?
Like, I would love that money, but also once I sell it, I will never be able to afford it again.
Absolutely not. Oh my god.
I do love it. I love it. It's stupid. I love a dinosaur toy.
And that's from like the first wave of Jurassic Park figures, correct?
This is So this is series 2, and I have taken it out of the box. But yeah, like it's series 2 with 94. It's got the battle damage piece on the tail that comes out. Like it's nostalgic. It's aesthetically pleasing. It's fun.
Wait, did I just, does it have sound gimmick?
No, that was me.
Oh, I was about to say.
Well, so that's one thing that I love that Mattel has been doing. If we want to talk about Jurassic for a second,
Yeah,
they've been doing these like not legacy 93 line or something. They have a new toy line that's like kind of reimaginings of
I've
the
seen
original series, and like has the accessories and stuff too.
Oh my god.
I was thinking about just selling these. I'm like, I could sell the capture gear for probably more than I spent on this initially.
Oh my god.
But I love that they're putting out. I mean, it's not like the exact same mold,
No, absolutely, yeah.
But I'm like, that's cool that it's the same color scheme on the same dinosaur, different sculpt, modern engineering. I'm like, that's great because they see that like clearly there's a market for this.
Oh, absolutely.
And I feel like a lot of companies. Sorry.
No. Go right ahead, Adam. Go right ahead.
No, like with like CCP. So we have these amazing Sofubi pieces. They're huge. They're expensive, and now so many other companies I feel like are getting on that. Like, let's do those color schemes because clearly these are popular. Let's give the people affordable versions of what they're looking for, kind of things. I do like that. I appreciate that.
No, so it's funny because oh my goodness, I can't even tell you how long ago it's been for me personally, since I've owned anything Jurassic Park related. But it's funny when I met Michelle.
Oh no.
So the way how we met, or one of our first interactions, I asked her immediately. So I had to play it up. I had to be like the cool kid, you know what I'm saying? Not let her know, not let her into the world of the Realist Goji fan, but just this was the door. She was right in front. There was only one way she was going to be able to get into these doors. And so I asked her, I was like, all right, so I'm gonna ask you a question, and not even so much for movie preferences, but more so specifically, who do you think will win in a fight? Godzilla or Kong? And she goes, um, I would say Godzilla. It should be no. It should. It's no. It should. It shouldn't even be a fight. And I'm like, I had to put a ring on her, bro. She came
There
in,
it is.
and so before she came into my room, I said, "Listen, I gotta warn you ahead of time. I know I expressed to you I'm a Godzilla fan, but I don't think you really know how much of a Godzilla fan I am." And then when she came in, there was no sense of judgment. If anything, it was like a ball of excitement, specifically because um when she came in, she was actually expressing to me that her niche in terms of like how she is with Godzilla is with how she is with Jurassic Park. So I was like, oh my God, really? And so, we were on a whole binge on just like expressing to one another about our introduction to the franchise and stuff like that, the collectibles. Like, oh my goodness, I went through a plethora of boxes that my parents had in their storage unit, and it was all labeled Jordan's Jurassic Park toys. I would add in, I kid you not, there's like 3 or 4 bins from top to bottom. And going to stores now, looking at the collectibles, I'm like, it outside of them wanting to add like the newer, or yeah, like what you mentioned, that they wanted to bring back that same type of energy, that same type of feel that we had from when the first set of Jurassic Park figures came out.
The,
I
the
was
the kids who have grown up and either they're still collecting themselves or now they're getting things for their kids.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
So we will look through them, and Michelle, to her, it's just like same thing with me. Anything Godzilla, I had to get it. To
Mhm.
her, is anything Jurassic Park related or anything just dinosaur related at all, I have to. She has to get it. I'm like, yeah, but let's wait for something better. And then when I saw, when we go to like Target or Walmart, and we would see like the amount of range of the difference in terms of like the aura that these figures are starting to just speak out to us, those who grew up with it and seeing
Mhm.
these new repaints and stuff like that, that even the box art feeling so much nostalgia to what it was back then. It's like, ooh, don't get me started, Mattel, because this is gonna be a whole another headache. Oh my God. So I'm glad that they're doing that though.
Right? And there's so much. And like you're saying, you had to buy everything. And I
Yes, yes.
a lot of that, at least for me, comes from like growing up in the 90s, and we had the Trendmasters figures. We had
Oh my,
nothing except like what the Imperial Godzilla, and
no,
then we
yeah.
had Trendmasters, and then we found like the stores that were importing stuff,
Mhm.
and then like so when we've had such like a drought, then suddenly like, and we got so used to like there's a Godzilla thing, it's all we have, and we
Yes.
got used to that habit, and then we ends up with just like bins of thing like why what am I doing? Why do I have just bins of stuff just sitting in my garage waiting for new homes? It's like I gotta put a cap. I gotta have more rules and regulations to my collecting and my buying habits.
We all do.
You know, I was talking with someone. I'm like, can you design an app where like if I'm at the store, I plug in certain like criteria, and then it tells me like if I should buy it or not. I need another voice in my ear. Like it was things like how long have you been hunting for it? From like I just learned about it just now to like 20 years. Like, okay, how much is it? Is it on sale? Do you have the same figure in a different color? Do you have it in a different, all those kind of things. But I started ignoring. I mean, he didn't come up with the app. I just like through the list, but I'm like, no, I still want it anyway. I'm gonna buy what I'm gonna buy.
And that's the thing with just us as collectors, it's like I remember one of my closest friends now, he's like him and their entire family, they're like my second family. When they're out in public and people that know them or even like other relatives of theirs that's only seen me like a handful of times, they would ask them, "Oh, how's Jordan doing?" Or even like their friends or their family members that they bump into, like, "Oh, so how are the Watsons doing? This, not da 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 da. I haven't heard them in a while. I know you're over there." They're like I said, my secondary family. One of them is, believe it or not, the reason why we became so close and so united was because um one of my best friends in that group is a huge Godzilla fan, a diehard Godzilla fan. So I used to hear stories about him through his older brother, who I went to high school with, and I didn't even get to see that kid until a year after. I already graduated high school. I'm in, community college or trade school, whatever, and I bump into him because he was going to school with my little brother. So, anyways, that's a whole nother story. That could be a whole nother video like that.
We could do a
So,
episode on just
literally, so he was like, okay, he's a Godzilla fan. But I'm like, nah, bro. The same thing how I mentioned you about with Michelle, the same thing I told him. I'm like, listen, I know I expressed to you my love to Godzilla, but you're gonna really get a sense of it when you walk into my room. So one day he comes over, my little brother invites him over to hang out and stuff like that. And so he goes in my room and he's like dumbfounded at the fact that he's looking at something that he wished and dreamt of having. And so I was that devil in his shoulder, like, start your collection.
do it.
But just do it. Just all it is just one press of a button. All it is just placing your card on top of the scanner. All it is just taking out your wallet and giving them the money. Just do it. Because
To
you don't
make the
know.
money.
Yes, literally, just do it. And then now he has Adam. Oh my God, I can't. He has enough that it could possibly fit like 2 rooms.
Jeez, that's
And so and he is I'll give him one thing for sure. He's more responsible than me. You know, and I always try to seek advice from him so I could, steer away from trying to um purchase stuff, just impulse buys or whatever, but it is a very bad habit for us. But
it's
it's what we love.
it is. It is what we love. And it's most of what my money is getting spent on. It's not like I'm doing this and like having a video game console and this other thing, Pokemon cards or whatever. It's all figures. But like when I met my wife, I was like, I need to prep her for the rooms she's gonna walk into. So I was telling
Yes.
her like, hey, I collect like action figures and stuff, and she's like, oh, I have some too. I'm like, great. And so I go to her place for the first time. She has like 5 Harry Potter figures. She's like, see these in my. I'm like, oh, oh no. But not long after we started dating. So back in 2011, I guess, eBay had, I don't know if they still do this, a second chance feature. So if you're like the second highest bidder and the highest bidder backs out, then it goes to you. And you have a chance to straight up buy it now at that your max bid price. So we're hanging out one night, and then I get an email like, "Hey, second chance offer. You have 24 hours to accept." It was
Wow.
the Bandai Super Premium Final Meltdown Godzilla,
No way.
and I'm like, that was my absolute limit at that point, like price wise. And I'm like, I can't tell her that how much I'm gonna spend on this. And I'm like, hold on, I gotta respond to an email. I still
Welcome,
have
lady.
it upstairs. She got used to that just being in the middle of my room there. But yeah.
Can I ask how much did you spend that day?
You know, and that's fine. Uh, I It might be the most I've spent on a single figure
No way.
in. I'm trying to think. Yeah, I don't think I've spent any more than that. Yeah, that's my most. Maybe not the most expensive thing I own, but the most I've spent on a thing.
No way. Now I don't want to know.
I I I will never forget the number because
Oh my
but
god.
it's it's also the biggest figure I own. I'm like, I don't have the space. It's on my floor right now because I have no shelf space for it.
Oh my
Like,
god.
I'd love to sell it, but shipping on that thing is going to be
Will be.
stupid. Um, but that's like jumping back to the like me not getting the Groman piece because it's so big. I feel like most things, if they were half the size, I would jump on it immediately.
Okay.
I'm like, yeah, go from 12 inches to 6 inches. I'll pay the same price. Just make it
Oh my
smaller.
god. Okay.
That's why I love like the high grade figures. We were talking about like little baby Godzilla. Like, yeah, I don't need a big thing. Just give me a little thing. Just scale it down. I'll take it.
That's smart.
Right?
Very smart.
I want all of them, but it's kind of like collecting Pokemon. Shrink them down to the ball. You have 150 of them right here.
Or
Stupid.
even when you could get those little Gashapon-esque type of figures that they used to come out with.
And that's why I have like a ton of these. These are all just like little high grade figures and finger puppets and stuff.
I love them.
They're cheap. They're small. I mean, they might not be as impressive as things
Nah,
like.
but no, they're just oh my
But
god. There's so much you could do with those.
I also look at like I compare prices for things a lot.
No, yes, you have
Like,
to.
okay, well, if this is $100, I could get 10 playmates for this one figure. Like, sure, I like this more, but maybe I'll like 10 playmates more than this one thing. So I'm always making those comparisons. I don't know if that's good or bad. Is that a healthy
Oh
thing to
no,
do?
that's smart. I I don't do that.
You're like, nope, I
Only
want it done.
yes, like I'm very stubborn when it comes to I'll be honest, like excuse me, when I went and got that kit for Marcellus to work on, I think I don't remember exactly how much the guy was asking, but I think that was the most I spent that entire week on just one figure at G
Yeah.
Fest. But it was just like I didn't care. And it's funny because I was doing, oh my goodness, a crap ton of laps. And I mean, I'm probably speaking on behalf of you and a bunch of other people, even the viewers watching, that has a 10G Fest. But every time, every lap, my eyes would just be locked on that kit. And I'm like, oh my God, oh my God. And then the last day hit, I'm like, you know what? Let me have a chat with Mr. Winters. And he was who I needed to talk to for me to be like, you
Hmm.
know what, I'm gonna get it. He helped me out. I got not a drastically drop of a discount, but enough for it to be like, you know what, okay, I respect you. Up to the vendor himself. Um, but yeah, in terms of the most I've ever spent on, uh, it'd have to be the 2019 gigantic burning Godzilla.
Ooh.
Yeah, and I oh my goodness. And I've attempted to sell it on two different occasions, and now I'm just like, you know what? If nobody's asking for it, my thing is it's a sign that God's telling me to keep it.
Right? Yeah, there are some things like I wanted to keep, but then someone in the group is like, "Hey, does anyone have this specific figure?" I'm like, "Yeah, I could part with mine." It's like I know you're looking for it. I know it's going to like the right home. So I feel like I have so many things that it's like,
Oh my
okay,
goodness.
get rid of that. But there was my thing for Marcellus. It's a dream figure. It's something
Oh,
that's like not. It doesn't exist. I mean, you remember the Trendmasters figures?
of course.
on the back of the box, they had each character in like a little bio. The photos for each character were prototypes.
Yes,
Those weren't
yes,
actual
yes.
figures that you could get in the store. And a bunch of them, like the Batra, that was the Bandai figure repainted.
Yes,
The
yes, yes.
Godzilla, that was the Kyoto model kit.
Yes.
So there are a bunch of those that it's like it's this Japanese figure with a different paint job that clearly are not what we ended up with. So I sent him. I found one of. I like figured out which kit one of the things is. I bought the kit. I sent it to him to match the paint job. So that'll be something I wanted from the back of the box that I can have the closest I'll ever get to it. So
I can't wait. I can't wait.
Yeah, he's like years out on commissions right now. So eventually, at some point,
yes.
we'll own it. But the figure's there. It's in his hands somewhere.
Oh, I can't wait. Ooh. I'm there's so many thoughts running through my head right now trying to think what it is. I can't even think of it.
we got dream figures. We got Grail. Oh, this was a bucket list item. The shirt.
Really?
My wife found it for me. I don't know where. I don't know how, but she got it. It's
Wow.
Art Adams, and on the back it has like a bunch of his. Because like they reprinted the shirt later, but without the back images.
No. Yes. Yes. Yep.
I want those. Because
Wow.
he used to live in Portland when he was working with DC. No,
Yes.
Dark
Yes. Yes.
It's Dark Horse. Yeah. And like he used to go to all the little like comic conventions and stuff. No, no convention was too small. He would like have a table and you'd come up and you'd like just sign your comics and stuff. And I got like 6 or something. And I'd show up, I'm like, I love your Godzilla comics, and he'd like sign them. And I'd show him, God, I made these awful Gamera comics, like crayon. And like I showed, like, this is great, keep it up. I'm like, oh, he's so nice. He's just a good dude. So I'm like, I want this. I want Art Adams Godzilla. And my wife found it. So
That's awesome.
the little things.
No, absolutely. You know, it's crazy. I don't. Oh my God, I don't think I have ever would have considered any of my Godzilla apparel as Holy Grails. Like for instance, this is the Ruck and Fountain Mothra versus Godzilla shirt, long sleeve, has a bunch of neat stuff. Unfortunately, there's that I know. I don't think there's anything in the back, but yeah, that would be a good. Don't open this new door for me, Adam, because now if I see shirts, I'm like, oh my God, oh my goodness.
I'm sure we can picture like a dream shirt. I have a very specific style that I like, the baseball tee style. Where it's
Okay,
like
okay.
the color here and then like down the sleeves. I do have a couple shirts like in that style. I like the sites where you can like customize the stuff. I'm like, yes, give me the baseball style.
Yes, yes.
But I have like most shirts, it's just the generic like sleeve like this, and it makes
Yeah.
me that much skinnier when it's just all this is just sticking out. Like if I can find this design and like this cut, then but, yeah, I don't have a lot of. I have like very specific amount of like Godzilla shirts. I'm like these are fine. How many days?
No, oh my God, yes. I have. I can't even tell how much I have.
Bananas. Like, okay, I'm gonna be at G Fest for 4 days, and I have 13 shirts picked out. Do I change shirts every 12 hours?
That was literally me. Oh my God.
Right? What's wrong with us?
It's funny. I would make fun of Michelle all the time. I'd be like, babe, you're packing for what you think is going to be an entire week's worth of vacation where we're only going to be out for just 2 days. And then when it came down to G Fest, oh boy, did the roles turn. I was like, oh my God. And then I hear him being made fun of by the group that I was with. And they're like, dude, you're like, you're swapping out like you're trying to pose for freaking, the model magazine or some shit. I'm like, dude, I'm just trying to, I don't know. We don't know. I don't know what we're doing. Like the first day, and it was even G Fest day. It was the day before. It was Thursday. And I'm like, You know what? We're 3 hours in. I'm gonna change to a non-Godzilla attire. And then after that, I'll go to the mall for like a few minutes, come back, and I was changing into a whole other outfit. They're like, dude, you're changing into so many outfits. How many stuff did you bring? I'm like, you don't know. I came prepared.
You have like a pop-up wardrobe. There was
Literally.
one New Year's party we had here. After a certain number of drinks, one of my friends and I were like, let's just do a costume change. So it was every half hour from that point. We'd go up, put on like a different shirt and tie, just raid the closet.
I love it.
I feel like we've gone way far off. What were we? Holy Grails. Actually, you know what? I realize we are past an hour here, and I do have a date. We're going to see Terrifier 3.
Ooh.
That's my wife's thing. She loves all the horror stuff. She got her
Really?
Holy Grail. You know those 12-foot skeletons from Home Depot? I helped her set it up the other day. It's right back here. It's horrifying. But
Oh my
the
God.
way she looks at that is how I look at this figure. And I'm like, I get it. I get you.
Wow.
It's, yeah.
I can't do horror movies, dude.
No.
I'm Puerto Rican, dude. I would oh my goodness. That's Michelle. That she's like, oh, I like getting scared. I'm like, you need
No.
counseling.
That we're designed to not want that. But that's her thing. And she goes nuts. Like, I wish if this wasn't like set on a thing, I would like show you around. She does every Halloween. She just goes nuts with the decoration, the entire house.
Oh my
Our
God.
whole front yard is a graveyard. We got spiders hanging from trees. It's amazing. And I love that we're both, even though we collect and are gravitate towards wildly different things, we can still see the same love for the stuff in each other and in our collection.
Yeah, it's
So she has. I have figures on shelves. She has bins to the ceiling of like decorations. I love it.
that's my fiance. And there's so many things that and we're trying to look into making room so that she can have her own stuff. It's just I have so much things, and it's not that I'm not, I don't know, like you can't move my stuff to replace with your stuff. Like I'm telling, like, listen, let's add it together. It's just again, just finding room, finding the time to do it too, because she has a good chunk of stuff as well. But like her thing is anime. She has a whole like, oh my goodness. I mean, not that I'm looking at anything here anime related, but anyways, like she would have a huge chunk of anime stuff that I'm like, yo, we could add it to my Digimon stuff because that's considered anime as
That's like
well.
adjacent. Yeah.
Yeah, so but again, it's just finding room. But she has more anime stuff than I do, and I'm like, oof, we'll find room one day, sweetheart. I'll give you that, but
Ooh,
yeah.
idea. Let's table this. We'll have a whole separate episode about like collecting in the fandoms and our relationships, and because that is something that we had here. Like when we got the house, like figuring out how we divide the space with our stuff. So yeah, I mean that'll be, and like you
I'm
said, you're going to conventions together and things. I've convinced her to come to All Monsters Attack. So maybe like after All Monsters Attack, we can come back and have that conversation.
Oh, well, I will see you over there at All Monsters Attack, my friend.
Yes. But on that note, before we go, you want to plug your channels, your social media? Where can people find
Yes. So for everybody that tuned in, first and foremost, thank you. Adam's a really good friend of mine. It was an honor to even be here. To start this new series that he's been starting up with at Thirsty Thursday Toys. You guys can find me at the Realist Goji fan on every sense of social media. ranging from Instagram, YouTube, TikTok. I'm also part of a group by the name of Monsters with Attitude. You guys can follow us Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram. We're all over the place. So by all means, go right ahead, give us a follow, give us a shout out, and talk to us. We just like how me and Adam just had a whole hour's worth of conversation talking about Godzilla. That's how we are over at Monsters with Attitude. Even on my own sense of social media, I love interacting with you guys. So yeah.
Awesome. Yes. Thank you everybody for joining, and I'll be back on again at some point. It seems like I'm doing like every other month. I don't know. We'll be back for sure after All Monsters Attack to talk about stuff. I mean, that's the spring, so we got some time.
Yes, we got time. Yup.
Yeah. There will always be more conventions, more figures to buy, more conversations to have. Yes. But in the meantime, please drink responsibly, stay hydrated, and catch you later.